Gamers all around the world, sad news today. All right, or last night after I finished my stream a couple of hours later, Blizzard has released a statement. So I don't want to like overblow this thing or just make it like it's nothing. I'll give you guys my opinion on it and my honest opinion on what's happening, what's going to happen, and what my plans are with StarCraft 2. So let me first read the update so you guys can get a better grasp on what's going on. But basically, Blizzard is no longer officially supporting StarCraft 2. Pretty much. All right, let's get into it. To the StarCraft community, StarCraft is one of a kind, and we're committed to making sure for those of you who love this universe like we do have a home here for many years to come. With that in mind, we want to let you know about a development change we're making for StarCraft 2 as we continue supporting it for the long term. As many of you know, Blizzard continues updating its games long after the initial release. Some of you will remember that we were actively patching the original StarCraft more than 10 years after it first hit store shelves. This year we celebrated the 10 years of StarCraft 2 with one of our largest ever patches with massive updates to the editor, prestige points for our... Alright. Now, this is the important part coming up. We're going to continue supporting StarCraft 2 in the same manner as we have our previous long-standing games such as Brood War, focusing primarily on what our core and competitive communities care about most. What this means is that we're not going to be producing additional for-purchase content such as commanders and war chests, but we will continue doing season roles and necessary balance fixes moving forward. On the last note, we're not planning a Q4 balance update, given that we did one a few months ago. But as always, we do plan to continue doing them as needed in the future. StarCraft 2 Esports, which is one of the highest echelon of professional competitive gaming, will also continue going strong as it has been through our partners ESL Gaming and GSL. We know some of our players have been looking forward to some of the things we're moving away from, but the good news is this change will free us up to think about what's next, not just with regard to StarCraft 2, but for the StarCraft universe as a whole. StarCraft is core to Blizzard. Is core. Sorry. Well, is core to Blizzard, and we've learned that it's a game that can change the lives of people who devote themselves to it. Whether it's a player, content creator, streamer, or member of the community, or developer, the outcome of each match is in your hands 100%. To become better, you have to look inward, be honest about any flaws, and dedicate yourself to improving. StarCraft teaches us that that process of improvement can be a reward in itself, and it certainly taught us a lot at Blizzard over the years. You're one of the most passionate, creative, and dedicated communities in all of gaming. We're eternally grateful for your ongoing support, and we'll keep you updated on any and all plans we have for future voyages into the corporeal sector. Something Manakai Rob Bryden Baker. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, let's break this down and let you know what's going on. All right. So, first of all, it's the lubing up, right? It's lubing up for the pain train, right? It's like, oh, we love StarCraft, blah, 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 right? We've done so much and great. Everyone loves StarCraft, okay? So there's no need for that kind of, but it's like an official statement. Now, I want to start by saying that you can see here they mentioned Brood War. So the reaction to this in StarCraft 2 community from the personalities and streamers and content creators has been overwhelmingly positive. Like, nothing's going to happen, everything's great, and so on and so forth. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but I'll give you guys my opinion. So, I don't think it's all dandy and it's like, who cares kind of thing. I think it's worse than that, and I don't think it's the end of the world. So, I want to compare Brood War and StarCraft 2 for a moment. They used Brood War as an example. That they're going to continue supporting StarCraft 2 in the same manner as we have with our previously long-standing games such as Brood War. If by supporting meaning maintaining Brood War online servers on and keeping it on live support, yes, they've supported it, sure. Then they've done Remaster, which was a complete dog shit and still doesn't have team game queues. But other than that, as much as I love the old Blizzard and as much as I love StarCraft 2, what support was there for Brood War? Am I crazy here? South Korea is the sole reason why Brood War is still alive, not Blizzard. Blizzard, maybe I'm out of touch, but I don't think they've done much for the Brood War for the past 10 years except maintain the servers. Another funny thing is, why didn't they bring up Heroes of the Storm? You know why? Because that game went to shit when they stopped supporting it. And don't get me wrong, is this end of StarCraft 2? No. But this is the same thing that Heroes of the Storm got. And we all know what happened to Heroes of the Storm, don't we? Does anyone play that shit anymore? Does anyone watch that shit anymore? No. Why? Because there's no support from Blizzard. And initially, you know what I remember hearing? It's fine, like HOTS has a community on its own and they're gonna move forward and everything's fine. Nobody gives a shit about HOTS anymore. The queues were a mess. I don't know what they are now. Obviously, that's forgotten. They don't even mention it. Isn't HOTS one of those games, long-standing games that are continuing to support even though there's no esports? But they don't mention it because it turned out sour. They mentioned Brood War because Brood War technically survived and continued forward just because of South Korea. So, I was a huge fan of Blizzard. Huge fan. Like, I could swear on Blizzard in my life 10 years ago. That was my favorite company, but this day, Blizzard is not Blizzard from a while back. It's completely new people. There's a reason why they call it Activision and that people don't call it Blizzard anymore. All the people that were original Blizzard left, and the only thing that's left right now in Activision Blizzard is just money-hungry, thick, male, old boomer people. Okay, and the reason why this is happening is because, very simple, it's not bringing the money, right? It's just not bringing the money. There's no money, there's no support. That's how it works. Why male? Because that's probably how it is. So, have you seen who's in charge on like the whole Activision thing? You would know why. So, I was talking to a lot of developers and people when I was there last year at BlizzCon, and this was a long time coming. Like, don't think this is like a surprise, like, oh my god, I had no idea. This has been like buttering up for years, guys. Blizzard has been going in this direction for years, and it's not really unexpected. It's just sad when it officially happens, right? They've been kind of saying like, oh, here we have more stuff for editor is more for community. Like when they gave out the editor stuff to the community so it's easier to use, they gave it out because they're not going to do shit anymore with it. So they gave it out for the community so people can do something with it, right? When they signed over the rights to ESL, why do you think they did it? Right? They did it because they were going in that direction. Like, hey, there's this game, StarCraft 2. Anyone wants this shit? Anyone? ESL? Yeah? Sold. 3 years contract. Because again, they wanted to get away and stop using money in StarCraft 2. Like, the way I'm talking about it is very, like, rude, but it's very straightforward, and it's very true. This is not, they didn't, like, people that made the deal with ESL, by the way, did it for the good of the game. Because I want to make one thing clear. The people that work on StarCraft right now, and the people that work on HOTS right now, this is not their fault. This is completely out of their hands. This is, like, they love StarCraft. I met those people. I met them. IRL. These people love StarCraft. These people had so many plans for StarCraft, even as late as last year at BlizzCon. They had so many things planned, and all got shut down because they would need more people to develop those things. Basically, the way that gaming companies work these days is, let's say I'm a Joe and I work for Blizzard, and I come and say, hey, I want to make this thing for StarCraft 2, and then the people with the money are like, well, how much money is that going to bring? And they're like, well, it's not necessarily for money. And they're like, don't give a shit. Don't make it. Don't give a shit. And then they try to explain, well, it's good for the health of the game. Don't give a shit. Unless it brings money, get out of here. So at the end of the day, you know, gaming companies are a business, but we're entering an era where gaming companies are just Jesus Christ at this point. So I want to make that thing clear. People that work on StarCraft love StarCraft, and they want it to be better, and they wish they could do more, but it's not their fault. Because I don't want people brigading developers of StarCraft or something like that. It's not their fault. They've tried. Trust me. They have tried. We also saw Blizzard pushing out people that originally worked on Blizzard and that originally made all these games because they didn't want the games to go this way, so they left the company or just got pushed out. Now, like I said, I mentioned HOTS earlier. They're not mentioning HOTS here because HOTS went disastrously bad, the ending of it, and it is pretty much the same thing. The only difference is we have contract with ESL. I mean, we as in StarCraft 2 community. For another 2 years and a few months, I think. And StarCraft, don't get me wrong, StarCraft 2 for the next 2 years and a few months will be fine. ESL has tournaments, assuming they can't somehow get out of the contract because of pandemic and all that. Because I'm not sure how that works with them financially. Like, by not organizing live tournaments, I have no idea. But let's say for the next 2 years and a few months, it's fine, right? We have tournaments, we'll have online DreamHack, we'll have community tournaments, and that's all great. What's going to happen after is most likely in a lesser extent to what happened with HOTS. Make no mistake. Unless Blizzard manages to extend contract with ESL or another gaming organization or gaming company or gaming organizers, whatever, to do more tournaments, guys, Blizzard did not like ditch StarCraft and then 2 years later they're like, oh, we're back. We're going to make war chests again and co-op commanders and we're going to organize tournaments. That's not happening. Let's make that crystal clear for people, because someone's like, oh, maybe they're not. Okay. If they wanted to do that, they wouldn't sign over the rights to ESL in the first place. So that's not happening. So the question is, what happens after that? And like I said, I think what's going to happen is StarCraft going to stay alive? Will there be a community? Sure, obviously. Fucking Pac-Man has a community. You know, Solitaire has a Minesweeper has a community. But what do you consider alive? Are they going to be servers you can play on? Yeah, sure. Are they going to be online CoOps that you can participate in maybe once in a while, an online CoOp with, you know, $1,000 prize pool, 10,000? Sure, I'm sure that will happen. But are there going to be live tournaments? Probably not. Who's going to organize them? Except maybe Home Story Cup, Take TV. If DreamHack, aka ESL, you know, they don't renew their contract, who's going to organize them? No one. So StarCraft 2 will stay alive, and I think it will be fine for the next 2 years and whatever, as long as ESL is supporting and as long as GSL is going. because I'm not sure what kind of deal Blizzard and GSL have. I don't know if GSL is solely supported by themselves. I have no idea. But after that, things will go downhill, most likely. Now, another problem is, and again, I'm just being realistic and I'm speaking my mind here. Another thing is, whether we want to admit it or not, like I've seen a lot of posts like, oh, StarCraft 2, there's more players than ever. There's more viewers than ever. The average age group in StarCraft 2 is probably one of the highest in gaming, which means I recently did like a straw poll thing. 60% plus of my viewers are 30 plus, or maybe it was 55%. This is only logical. Over the years, we're not going to like go like this in viewership, but those people are getting older. Those people will be getting families, right? And we're not getting an influx of young people. There's no 15-year-olds playing StarCraft. So all this combined, again, make no mistake, StarCraft 2 will stay alive, but to what extent is the question. If you consider, I mean, whatever amount of viewers you consider, that's still alive, technically, but it will go downhill in 2 years, and I think it's like 4 months. I think the contract with ESL was signed in, I actually don't know when it was signed, but the moment that shit is done, things will not be looking up. I can tell you that right now. So at this point, we're either remaining equal or we're gonna start going downhill in viewers and players. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider is some people play for the prestige, right? I personally play games, I don't care if they're 20 years old, I don't care if they're new, I play games that I like, you know? Like I don't mind playing a game. I played Crush, Kill, and Destroy about 6-7 months ago, right? I didn't play it because it was popular. I didn't play it because everyone thought it was cool. I play it because I wanted to. But there's also a lot of players that play certain games because they're popular, you know? That's what people play. And by a company dropping their game onto its head, some people will quit because of that, you know? Maybe if you're a pro player, maybe you're an aspiring pro player, do you really want to enter StarCraft 2 that perhaps has an expiration date in 2 years? So where's all the fresh blood going to come from? Probably won't. So another game that I want to discuss and kind of bring up, because I think it's probably the closest to StarCraft, is Age of Empires 2. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but Age of Empires 2 has been alive, right, for past, I don't know how many years, 20 years, 15 years, I don't know how long it's been out. And technically, Age of Empires 2 was fine, right? The game was there, the tournaments were there. But how many big tournaments in Age of Empires 2 before Remaster have you heard about? I haven't heard of any, at least. But since Remastered hit, the player base jumped up because, once again, the company that made it was supporting it, and they had multiple tournaments that were huge. They had 50,000+ viewers, and the game just received like a huge resurgence in viewers and players. And that's because, obviously, the HD graphics is cool and all, but it has a different feel when the company's supporting it. I personally, I'll say for myself, I wasn't a Heroes of the Storm pro player, but when Blizzard ditched it, I didn't feel like playing it because I'm like, well, people are not going to play it now. The queues are going to be shit, right? They're not going to update it, so it is what it is, right? It's going to stay that way. So I lost interest. And I played it casually, right? And some people in StarCraft 2 will do the same. Now, they say they will keep updating it and patching it. That means they will be fixing bugs and maintaining servers. They already said on the last note, we're not planning a Q4 balance update, which means they will not be doing a BlizzCon patch, post-BlizzCon patch, because there's always a post-BlizzCon patch, even though BlizzCon is not going to happen and it's delayed to like February, it's going to be online. But they're not doing the big patch they do every year. Why? Because they don't have enough people working on StarCraft. Because probably more people got pulled away from StarCraft for another project. So this is where maps have even more influence on balance of the game, because Blizzard will not be balancing. Like, don't be fooled, okay? They patch the games, what, 3-4 times a year? With this, they're going to patch it 1 or 2 times a year. So if they do a shit patch, we're going to be stuck with that for 6 months plus. So this is where community and map makers need to actually balance the game, because Blizzard will not be here. Because, I mean, that's just how it is. And this is the reason, by the way, why Blizzard doesn't want to do huge changes to StarCraft 2, because they don't have people for it. That's it. They don't have enough people working on it. So doing any kind of big change is extremely risky. Now, no war chests and no new commanders. Again, the people that were doing the art or the development on the CoOp Heroes, what do you think they're going to do now in StarCraft 2? Nothing. They're out on another project. They don't have a job in StarCraft 2 anymore, because they were meant to do that. So some people I saw on the forum saying, why would they do that? I thought war chests are doing fine. Yes, actually, war chests and co-op commanders did fine. But that's all they did. They did fine. They didn't make money. And even if they did make money, I don't know the exact numbers, but even if they did make money, they made, what, $100,000? $50,000, $100,000, $150,000? That's asswipe for a company as big as Activision Blizzard. It's nothing. Why would I have like 10 employees doing that shit for $50,000? That's insane. That makes no sense from a business point of view. So while war chests and commanders did fine, they didn't do enough. That's the problem. Now, again, I know I'm being very negative towards this. It is a negative thing, right? This is not a positive thing. But I want to make sure everyone understands again, I have nothing against people who are actually working on StarCraft 2. This is not their decision, and this is not their fault in any way. Because I know they wanted to do way more with StarCraft 2, even this year. They wanted to do a lot of things, trust me. And when I was at BlizzCon, that was confirmed when I talked to them, one-to-one. So they have this line, which a lot of people, I think, like blew out of proportion completely. We know some of our players have been looking forward to some of the things we're moving away from, but the good news is this change will free us up to think about what's next, not just with regard to StarCraft 2, but for the StarCraft 2 universe as a whole. Now, some people were like, oh my god, that's a StarCraft 3 announcement. There it is. Everyone's pulled away from StarCraft and they're making StarCraft 3. Oh my god, it's coming. There it is. It's not. Okay? It's not. The best they can do is take the StarCraft universe and shove it into some shit battle royale or shove it into a mobile game. Okay, that's what you can hope for if you want to hope for something. StarCraft 3, in my opinion, is extremely unlikely. Extremely. And it's very simple why. People that care about games at a high positions are not there. Okay, they're there to make money. People that want to make money are not going to put tens or hundreds of employees working on an RTS game in 2020 or 2021, guys. Let's be real here, okay? They're not. You can't. Monetizing RTS games is very hard. Yes, you can sell skins, but it's very hard to monetize it, and it's very hard to make money out of it. Do I think that StarCraft 3 would be insanely popular and it would revitalize the RTS genre in a way? Do I think it would be top 3 on Twitch? Yes, I do. But guess what? They can make a shit mobile game and make 10 times more money with 10 times less effort. And that's the problem. Or that's the, that's how it is. So, I don't think StarCraft 3 is coming. Because I feel like at the same time, if you would do something like this and you had StarCraft 3 in the making, why wouldn't you just say it, right? Why wouldn't you say, we're working on StarCraft 3 if it was official? Or, you say like, hey guys, support StarCraft 3 is gone, but we are working on StarCraft 3, or we're looking into developing it. And I know there's a double-edged sword, because if they say that and then they don't end up doing it, then that's really bad. But at best, that means there's no actual plans for StarCraft 3, or at least no concrete proof or desire or development that's happening right now. Otherwise, they would have said something maybe. Obviously, there was the StarCraft Ghost, a battlefield shooter game that was supposed to come out. They got canceled. And I think it wasn't even leaked by Blizzard, or it wasn't announced by Blizzard. It was just leaked that it was happening. Which, if you're interested, you can search it and check out. There's even a gameplay of it and stuff like that. So, the best thing I think we can hope for as StarCraft 2 fans is honestly that the new company, Dreamhaven, buys the StarCraft 2 IP, or creates a very similar game to StarCraft 2 and makes a StarCraft 3 out of it. I'm not joking. I'm 100% serious. That's what we can hope for. That they get the IP and then they make a StarCraft 3. Because I don't know if you guys know what company Dreamhaven is, but Mike Morheim, I don't know if he founded it or co-founded it, whatever, a new gaming company called Dreamhaven. I urge you to follow them, because all the people that made your favorite StarCraft, or not StarCraft, but all the people that made your favorite Blizzard games are in that company right now. And obviously it's a gaming company, so if you want to see a quality RTS game, perhaps you will see it out of them. Way more likely than Blizzard releasing StarCraft 3. At least, in my opinion. I don't have any behind the scenes secret stuff to tell you or to reveal or hint at. I'm telling you this is my opinion based on what's happening, based on what I know how gaming companies work. If you're a viewer of StarCraft 2 or a player, if you love playing StarCraft 2, this shouldn't change anything for you, honestly. If you enjoy playing StarCraft 2, you shouldn't be like, oh man, it's not officially supported. I think that kind of argument is silly, even though I did that with HOTS. But then again, HOTS was just a game I played on the side, and StarCraft is something I play all the time, and a lot of you play all the time. So what you can do for StarCraft is just continue playing it, continue watching your streamers, continue supporting it, continue watching YouTube StarCraft videos. And that's it. Is StarCraft 2 going to skyrocket from here and become more popular? No, it's not. Like I said, I saw a lot of streamers and casters were like, oh, this is fine, nothing changes. I agree, nothing changes right now. But it will change. And I really don't think it will be for the good. Especially because of, again, pandemic. I don't know what the ESLs plans are if they cannot organize live tournaments. I have no idea, right? I don't know if they have a contract that they can just break off because of this. I don't think so, but you never know. Now, regarding to what my plans are for this, right? In general, with streaming and content creating. I will continue to play StarCraft. I will continue to do series. I will continue to do everything I did already. I told you guys this. This doesn't, I'm not just oh, well, pulling the plug. I knew this for a while. If I wanted to quit StarCraft 2, I would have done it months ago. I would have done it last BlizzCon, because I knew this is coming. The changes they were making, the things I talk with people, I knew this is coming. And if I wanted to quit, I would have quit then. So this is just, like I said, it's just official information now, and it's officially said. But I feel like if you followed StarCraft 2 and if you followed what's been happening with Blizzard, you probably kind of knew that this is, it will happen at some point. Get prepared for onslaught of stupid people spamming dead game. But don't be mad at them. They're just 14-year-old Fortnite gamers that dab in their school as a way to say hi. So it is what it is. They're special, and don't bully special people. Now, yeah, I will continue streaming StarCraft. I will continue doing, guides, series. I will continue playing it. We'll see if the community tournaments can carry StarCraft 2 in case the ESL and DreamHack support dies. I personally don't know. StarCraft will never die, right? It will never have 20 players online. But again, it depends what your definition of a live game is, or how many players does it take, or viewers, for StarCraft 2 to be legit or alive, and so on and so forth. But I do think a lot of pro players will perhaps reconsider their practice and maybe try to do something else, because there is kind of that, oops, maybe I should do something else kind of thing. So yeah, I will be doing everything as regularly. Like, I'm not going to change anything. I will be uploading StarCraft 2 videos regularly. I will be playing other games, but this is something I started even before this. I will be playing new releases of RTS games or whatever other games, but my main content for now will still be StarCraft 2. And I say for now because I don't want someone to clip this and then 10 years later I have like grandchildren and someone's like, well, you said you're never going to leave StarCraft. Stop hitting the mic. I'm not hitting the mic, I'm hitting the desk. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe in 2 years Dreamhaven releases a new RTS game and I switch to it. I don't know. That's why I never say certain decisions regarding StarCraft 2, because I don't want to... I don't like when people say like, oh, I will stay here forever, or I will play StarCraft 2 even if it has 5 viewers. Maybe that's what people want, right? But at the end of the day, if you're living off of StarCraft 2 and there's 5 viewers, you're probably not gonna play it, because the last time I checked, you cannot really eat air, and you actually need food, and to buy food you need money. So that's how that goes. But yeah, disappointing but expected, I think. Why do you want this job? That's right, so I can eat air. Drickett saying I might get screwed as a team owner. Well, see, this is again, it's one of the things that this has a larger impact than people think. People think it's just, oh, but ESL as tournament changes nothing. If you're a team owner like Drickett, it's going to be much harder finding sponsors for your team, because they're gonna be like, oh, isn't that the game that the company just ditched? They will get comments like that. And there we go, Drickett in the chat says, I'll have a hell of a time for sponsors. There we go. So it's not very simple, guys, and it's not all, oh, everything's great, community tournaments, because people don't think more in depth about it. I thought about this quite a bit in the past 12 hours. The teams will have less leverage to get money from sponsors. If you're a team that's growing semi-pro players, you will have harder time finding sponsors, and then those semi-pro players or pro players that are playing or trying suddenly are not getting any money. So with the expiration date, will they continue to play? I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is everything will go downhill a little bit. And again, I don't want to be a downer and bring you the bad news and be all negative. Again, I'm just being realistic. I can sit here and be like, oh guys, this doesn't matter, everything's great, dude, our community is strong AF, we've been alive for 10 years, nothing's gonna stop us. I mean, maybe not. Brood War never ended and is there 22 years after release. Brood War has 200 viewers combined on Twitch, and Brood War tournaments get a viewership because of Artosis. And it's very alive in South Korea. I will 100% agree with you. In foreign scene, not so much. But yeah, like I said, a game is alive if it has 50 viewers technically. So, and yeah, StarCraft 2 is the only RTS that's big right now and popular, so it has that going for it. Plus, there's no new RTS games to, you know, steal the thunder. So, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of questions, right? Someone said earlier, Freaka TV sponsoring GSL. What if Freaka decides to stop sponsoring GSL? What are all the Korean players going to do? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, guys, I don't want to delay this talk and video any further. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to discuss it a little bit now. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you think. And yeah, leave a like. Give me that sub on YouTube, please. Thank you. I mean, I'm literally playing a dying game, guys. I mean, it's no longer a meme, you know? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, for you guys on Twitch, let's keep going.